Hello everyone, this is Richard at Ryden's Room, here to do my latest Star Wars review. This is for the second film of the prequel trilogy, Attack of the Clones. And so I can get this pop and go into view. Feels like the right shot, probably because the whole Mandalorian thing, and of course I'll bring on that later with the whole Jango Fett and everything. Obviously this cat didn't exist back in 2002, but why not? The Attack of the Clones spawned Clone Wars, the Clone Wars, and all that stuff. Obviously never really considered canon or anything, but we have the Republic Commando books, and one day I'll read those in full. I read Order 66, which was like the fourth one in this series. I probably should have read the others first, but yeah, it didn't really matter. It was a great story, and by the time I eventually reread them from the start, I'll have forgotten all about it, but that'll be a long way away, because at the minute I'm still reading the New Jedi Order books, and of course there's Legacy of the Force. I was going to go back to some of the older ones like Republic Commando, Mace Windu's Shatterpoint, the reread of the Dark Lord trilogy, but to be honest, no, once that New Jedi Order is awesome, not even halfway through it, and as soon as it's done I'm going to want to just continue the story of Legacy of the Force, and maybe I'll buy Fate of the Jedi one day. So Republic Commando books, great stories based on just Order 66 and Imperial Commando, but it's going to get pushed back. I'm just loving NJO so much I need to move on to Legacy straight after. Okay, so back to the main point of this review. This is, of course, the episode 2 review, Attack of the Clones. I watched Phantom Menace a couple of weeks ago, and we got to this one next, picking a film at random out of the hat. As there were still 6 Star Wars films at the time and only 3 Resident Evil, so we got to Star Wars, and hopefully we'll keep getting them ASAP once each week. But yeah, so as I said in my last review, I think Phantom Menace holds up better because there's just so much that it sets up. I mean, Attack of the Clones obviously sets up the Clone Wars. You know, you've got Obi-Wan and Anakin's less than perfect master and apprentice relationship, particularly compared to Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, or even like Obi-Wan and Luke later. Like, obviously, Obi-Wan was already Luke's true master. He's more of like as he says in the episode 3 novel, an eccentric uncle. Yeah, he's still Luke's guide, and there's no bad relationship between the two whatsoever. But yeah, I'll get into it in a moment. But effectively, like, those are the things, though. The Clone Wars, Anakin Obi-Wan's no shit, the new villain, Jedi Orders, struggles, etc. That's what Attack of Clones does. But Phantom Menace, I just felt, always does so much more. Phantom Menace still is the best lightsaber duel, without a doubt. Attack of Clones is a bit different, but Phantom Menace just wins there. I don't think anyone can really doubt that one. It's just there's so much, like Palpatine's, schemes as the senator to become Supreme Chancellor, Darth Sidious is doing with the Trade Federation, all that stuff. And Ewan McGregor's a perfect young Obi-Wan, and you just get the feeling that, like, this is going to all pay off by episode 3 and even later ones, which it does. So yeah, even now, I'm not counting Disney trilogy in this whatsoever. If I did, those 3 would be rock bottom. Anyway, and Rogue One and Solo I don't truly consider Disney trilogy, well, not Disney trilogy, but Disney Star Wars, because Rogue One, again, this will get reviewed, but ultimately it feels like they had complete freedom to tell a genuinely good story that's written by people who cared. I wouldn't say the same about Solo, but it's not my rewatch film, so I suppose I'll quickly go into it here. It's a good film. It was not a bad movie, but it felt like it never needed to be made. Certainly makes me worry about the Obi-Wan TV show, because of course that was meant to be a film to start with, but well, we'll see. I'll just say this now: Obi-Wan and Vader must not fight each other again. No way. They battle. Spoiler, but everyone should know this. They battle on the Death Star. At present, Vader's not felt since. Those gaps does not mean that since 10 years ago I fought my old master again and he got away. No, if that happens, you're going to be relying on technicalities or like vague suggestions there was another battle. But come on, let's be real. Obi-Wan and Vader fought twice and both lost. On Obi-Wan won the first one and Vader lost. Well, Vader / Anakin, and then the second one Obi-Wan lost. But then he didn't really, because his death was clearly meant to inspire Luke, much like Luke's loss of his uncle and aunt helped him hate the Empire. Well, hate's not a Jedi way, but let's be honest, what would you think at that moment? And losing Obi-Wan as well, it's the stuff that Luke needed to see as part of his journey, the hero's journey, etc. God, where's I getting a bit off topic there? But yeah, Kenobi show. Let's just say after Book of Boba Fett proved they're not retconning the sequel trilogy, throwing it to alternate timeline, etc. None of that. Kenobi show is the last chance. Andor does look promising, especially if they show the dodgier stuff the Rebellion do, which we got a bit of in Rogue One. But no, if if Obi-Wan and Vader fight for real, not just in some sort of dream or nightmare, Obi-Wan's being haunted, but an actual legit battle that wrecks canon for episode 4, no, I would totally give up Disney Star Wars, maybe watch Mando series for like vague interest, but that's the thing they must not do. But anyway, back to this review before I drag on. So we mentioned the Phantom Menace again, so yeah, I still put episode 2 bottom. It's got great moments, but effectively it's the middle chapter, sets up a hell of a lot like the Clone Wars, but Phantom Menace just sets up so much more and it all pays off so well a couple of films later. But yeah, on to the points of Attack of Clones. So it's 10, I believe it's 10 years later. Obi-Wan is Anakin's master. They don't quite have the best relationship because Obi-Wan's very strict, following the Jedi code, and Anakin is different. No Jedi's ever had an apprentice like him. He's more ruled by his, he's more into his emotions. My dog's trying to sniff the way in. Hello, Abby. Hello, boy. The dog will come back into shot in no time, I'm sure. But yeah, Obi-Wan effectively is not the best teacher. He clearly wasn't ready for an apprentice. He honoured Qui-Gon's wish, but let's be honest, any other Jedi, we experienced one. Mace Windu, for example, could have been Anakin's teacher. Hell, maybe Yoda could have done. So it's not as if it had to be Obi-Wan, it's just Anakin had to be trained. But yeah, they've not got the best relationship. Anakin isn't lying when he says he's truly thankful to be Obi-Wan's apprentice. But it's clear Obi-Wan effectively isn't ready for this. He's kind of like he's not. They've mentioned like he's a father figure, but he's more like that strict uncle, like the uncle, but far better one he'll be to Luke later. He's sort of like the same position, but it's not a good one. Anakin acts quite entitled and whiny and bratty, but you can get what he's coming from when he's going to Obi-Wan is just too critical, doesn't listen and doesn't understand how he feels, and you get the feeling that's absolutely the case. Yeah, I like the relationship, and yeah, I know people did not want to see a whiny punk Anakin Skywalker, but much like they didn't want to see the ultra hopeful, cheerful 9-year-old Anakin in Phantom Menace, this is Anakin Skywalker's life. He is a little like bratty kid at times. Bratty, 19-year-old. Never got why Anakin was 9 in Phantom Menace. Why can't it just be 10 to make things much simpler? But yeah, it makes sense. Anakin's not this like perfect warrior immediately. He's got a personality. The way his life is different because he's different to the other Jedi. And yeah, I mean, okay, let's get on to the elephant in the room. The romance dialogue. It sucks. There's no doubt about it. I'm not going to go into how I don't like sand bit. He's from Tatooine, he probably hates sand. It's dodgy dialogue, but come on, honestly. Not everyone was the prom king. Every person, said really dumb things around girls, particularly when they got, like, Anakin's case, no experience with them. I mean, he might have had brief childhood romances, but it would have been very, very minor. Obi-Wan didn't have any romances. Anakin wouldn't have, maybe had a little thing here and there, but it's nothing serious. And then, yeah, when Padme comes back, and of course Anakin starts to say dumb things, it's realistic. I mean, I think Hayden Christensen acted it well, and I get that people didn't like it because they effectively don't want to see a young Darth Vader acting like this little kid. But excuse me, Abby, quiet. Come here. Apologise, our dog was just getting very whiny. I'm sure that's all coming through quite loudly on the camera, so I apologise about that. You should be downstairs sleeping it off. Yes, so anyway, I've no issue with Hayden's acting. It's just poor dialogue, but no actor can work wonders with bad dialogue. That is simply how it is. And excuse my bad Star Wars lightsaber pressure there as I'm closing the door. Gotta keep the noise out. Yeah, so Hayden Christensen did a great job. He was given terrible dialogue, but then all the actors were given terrible dialogue at times. Even Ewan can't always work perfect dialogue, as even episode 3 there's a bit which it feels a bit, I don't know, not perfect, but we'll get there. So yeah, absolutely fine. Again, Ewan McGregor was absolutely amazing as Obi-Wan. He just really is like perfectly cast as him. You get the, and of course with his hair longer and the beard, it's clearly moving into Alec Guinness stage. So yeah, great job there. I don't know if it's a wig or his actual hair. I can't see why he'd wear a wig. I mean, he had his hair long, just have it all shaved off, barring that braid in Phantom Menace. So it's 3 years, so I just can't see an issue with that. But yeah, no, great choice casting again. Ian McDermott's absolutely phenomenal as Palpatine. You really get this guy is like up to no good, and then you got Darth Sidious as well in the background. Christopher Lee, superb. Count Dooku is obviously the quick replacement needed for after Darth Maul's death. It's even clear in the book. Babin Val says he needs a new apprentice quick and has no time to train someone from childhood like he would ideally like to with Anakin, but he just figures let Anakin despise the Jedi, have his worldview change, but Palpatine knows something is going to go in his favour there, which of course it does. Spoiler, but come on, I'm sure you all know episodes 3 that Palpatine is Darth Sidious, etc. And then yet other good actors. Timur Morrison has been rewarded for his great acting as Django by appearing as Boba in Book of Boba Fett, which is just super cool. Frank Oz is still great. You finally got a CGI Yoda. I know they changed him from puppet to CGI in Phantom Menace for the Blu-ray, maybe DVD release as well. I think it was just Blu-ray. Hey, get away from Bo-Katan. It's my dog. He just wants to be the centre of attention, don't you? It's his birthday month, so he must be in all my vids. Yeah, get back. He'd love to chew this lightsaber up. Shame it's not real. I mean, the Futurama lightsaber, you can beat him, but it still turns on and makes a sound effect. So yeah, great choice of all the actors. Crystal Lee's great. Yeah, it's just Saruman all over again. But hey, who better to play that type of role? So yeah, can't argue there. So that's it. Pretty much all the actors. Obviously, everyone, Samuel L. Jackson, etc. The supporting characters. Yeah, voice actors for the cloners, etc. Great job there, no faults whatsoever. And I brought this about young Anakin Jake Lloyd, how badly he was treated by people. I've heard the same thing happen to the guy who played young Boba Fett. Like, why? Because Boba Fett was this badass bounty hunter who didn't really do that much in the originals, but just looked awesome. He's a kid, he's 13, so what if he's a clone of Jango Fett? Jango Fett is like the greatest bounty hunter alive until he tries to take on two of the greatest Jedi ever and thinks he can survive it. You know, it's great that they've got some backstory for Boba, and yeah, he's a funny old kid. He's quite bloodthirsty, cheering at like Obi-Wan's apparent death at Jango's missiles, but yeah, it's good that he got this new type of character, and of course, it just opened up more options, like for him to appear in Clone Wars, etc. But yeah, why people had a go at the kid actor, I never know. It's just some fans, or I mean, fans, not even consumers, just some people are just complete morons. I don't know why they do this stuff. It's really dumb. I hope the actor continued to do voice acting. I know he did voice him in Clone Wars, but who knows, I should probably look that stuff up. So yeah, it's pretty much on the actors. The main plot, someone's trying to kill Padme. It turns out to be Newt Gunray, because Newt Gunray is a pretty evil guy. He's just greedy, obsessed, happy to work for the bad guys, just wants money, power. Read Cloak of Deception. That's got a lot of good stuff with the Trade Federation in it as well. Don't think Darth Plagueis does, because it does go in towards Phantom Menace. I'm not sure if that comes up, but Cloak of Deception is a great job. You see how bad some of these Trade Federation guys are. Yeah, Newt Gunray, of course, he simply just wants revenge because Padme stopped, what he was doing in Phantom Menace, and Jango Fett is having another bounty hunter work for him. Again, I don't know why Jango doesn't just kill her himself, but we had to have a hot babe doing it. She dies. Jango, of course, just kills her to cover his tracks, and Obi-Wan just goes off to try and find. But first of all, it's who's trying to kill Padme. He takes Jango's dart. Jedi analysis records can't find anything. He's got this really cool four-armed alien, Greasy Spoon Cafe owner as his friend. He's done somehow work this stuff out. He's just obviously clever. I just like that Obi-Wan's got these friends in different places. Obi-Wan just loves to hang out in seedy bars and uses force mind tricks on drug dealers, and then he just hangs out in cafes of Greasy Spoon type places, which is pretty fun. But yeah, he basically goes to this water planet called Commando. Love the planet, and I was saying this to my wife recently. I just love that some of these planets have their own style. I mean, compare that to Disney Star Wars, and it's just a copy of Jakku is a copy of Tatooine. I can't remember some of the other planets, but they're definitely just copies of what we've already had. I can't really think of anything that was brand new. That's everything feels new in the prequels, and it's one of the things I love about it. Not just that droids against stormtroopers are the villains. It's just little things like that. Totally. I mean, look at the first scene of Phantom Menace. They come flying to a droid hangar, and it's just completely different to anything that came before. And it's the same sort of thing. You've got Commando, which is a very small planet, admittedly, or the city they go to is just in this huge storm, constant rain. Pretty beautiful, and of course, it's a cloning facility. The Republic have had a clone army secretly commissioned by a Jedi called Cypher DS. God, I wish we would have got more of him. He gets the odd bit of backstory. I think the Darth Plagueis book he shows up in, but that's kind of it. And then there's the Clone Wars, but a good bit of mystery there. It turns out that Jango Fett, the bounty hunter, is clearly the one that they're looking for. Obi-Wan fights him, and yeah, he doesn't lose, but Jango Fett certainly doesn't. Jango Fett puts everything into the fight and still fails to kill Obi-Wan, unless he doesn't quite learn by the end. And of course, Obi-Wan tracks into Geonosis, which is effectively like a giant I mean, the Geonosians are effectively insectoid creatures, and Geonosis feels like a sort of like a hive planet, like a place where insects would live, like something. I suppose like Gears of War, the underground, the Hollow, under the planet where another species can live. It's kind of like that, and yeah, great design. Obi-Wan gets captured. Count Dooku does the whole "join me and we will defeat the Sith" thing. Lets Obi-Wan know that there is a Sith Lord rising in power. Obi-Wan doesn't believe it, but of course the dark side is Cloud and Jedi's judgment. Count Dooku's not willing to let Obi-Wan go unless they work together. Dooku is the charming politician, but he's like, no, you won't join me, you'll have to die. Anakin is assigned to protect Padme. They get in a Naboo, romance starts. Again, it's a dodgy dialogue, and my only issue is that Padme gives into this way too easily. You can get where Anakin has come from, that he wants to do. Anakin basically wants some love and doesn't like the Jedi no attachments code, etc. But yeah, Padme should have been a hell of a lot stronger and then realised she loved Anakin right at the end. It happens too soon, but fair play. When she says it won't happen, Anakin does indeed. He stops, he leaves it at that. So much credit for that. He's not like too much of a stalker. He's not still desperate for Padme to love him. He accepts it when she says she's not interested. So yeah, good job there. They effectively go to save Obi-Wan and Geonosis, and the film really kicks off on them. You get great stuff leading up to it, like the asteroid field with Jango Fett trying to bomb Obi-Wan, which is great. And I've always loved the sonic sound effects. It's just sounds so spectacular, and the shots of rocks being exploded is great. But to be honest, from when Anakin and Padme get to Geonosis Droid Factory, it's just non-stop action for 40 minutes. You've got the conveyor belt, which is complete hell. R2 can now fly, saves Padme from being boiled alive, so she just gets taken prisoner by Geonosians. Anakin has just shown incredible skills of the Force. There's this great bit when he just picks up 4 or 5 pieces of metal and just flings them at this line of Geonosians, and then takes out 2, just another one, and then Mike Luke in episode 6 just leaps into the air, amazing jump. It's you can really see how strong Anakin is, and it's great to see that. And it makes you wonder, is he stronger than Obi-Wan at this point? I'd say no. He's certainly not as mature or disciplined, but in terms of his power, he's getting there. But in episode 3, he'll be much, much stronger, but not just yet. He gets captured as well. He gets his lightsaber sliced in half, which turns out is not the first time that's happened. So he's unable to resist Jango Fett and about 5 droidekas and several Geonosians. So he gets taken. They basically get put in this Roman Colosseum execution area. These really cool animals. And they all survive. The Jedi then show up when they're cornered, led by Mace Windu, and Samuel Jackson, absolutely awesome. I wasn't the biggest fan back in 2002, but obviously lots of people were. And just seeing him leading the Jedi Rescue Squad to show how awesome he is with his lightsaber is great. And he beheads Jango Fett, which seems a bit dark. I mean, a beheading, I don't know, it's just something about that in family friendly, despite the odd dark stuff in Star Wars. Just seems kind of bleak. But then I had no idea Mandalorian armor was lightsaber resistant, and it makes perfect sense, especially when watching the shows, that Obi-Wan didn't bat any shots back at Jango because he was trying to capture him. That wouldn't have made any difference anyway. And it's the same thing. Jango's armor's lightsaber resistant, so it makes perfect sense. And sets up Boba to want his revenge against Mace Windu. Let's be honest, he's not going to get. But I did love it back in 2005. All the people Mace Windu will be killed by Boba Fett. It's come on, Boba Fett's 13. And Yoda shows up with a clone army, and then they just destroy everything. Droids are completely beaten, they all escape. Dooku, of course, runs away like all Sith. Obi-Wan and Anakin catch him. Padme somehow knows they're going to a hangar to find him. They fight. Dooku owns all of them. I just love, he treats Obi-Wan with some level of mocking respect, but gives none to Anakin. Brave of you, boy. And compared to Master Kenobi, who's just so charming and polite, even if he is evil now. Anakin is nah, you don't need a thing, and even carves Anakin's hand off. And then Yoda shows up, and again, a lot of people never wanted to see this. Some people really thought Yoda using a lightsaber was wrong. It's the same sort of thing to do with Palpatine using a lightsaber or lightsabers. I don't know why. I mean, Yoda's lightsaber is a bit smaller than the other ones. I mean, that's a full-size one. Yoda's more like that. And no, I thought it went well. They go a bit over the top, but it was the first time they designed something like that. And when Yoda uses lightsaber again, it's far better done, I think. But Dooku gets completely owned. First, he tries to defeat Yoda with Force powers. Completely fails. Didn't even know that you can catch Force lightning and throw it back at someone. Yeah, and Dooku basically has to pull a cheap shot and run, just tries to crush Obi-Wan and Anakin with a big pillar because they're lying helpless, and when Yoda saves them, he just runs away. So yeah, Yoda was obviously going to win. Dooku knew he was going to lose, so ran off. So like, yeah, you coward. At least Darth Maul fought to the bitter end. Yeah, he may have been killed, but he didn't just run away. And that's pretty much it. The Clone Wars have started. Lots of Jedi have died, but none of the main ones have. And yeah, Obi-Wan Mace Windu see this as a victory with the clone driving. Yoda's like, it's no victory. And then you see Palpatine and his group quite happily watching like thousands of clones being put into ships and flying off. And Bail Organa hates what's happening. And Anakin and Padme get married at the end. And that's pretty much it. So, and episode 5 ending callback, the droids are there, like when Luke and Leia are together, like wallowing in their misery. Yeah, it's still my least favourite Star Wars film. It doesn't make it a bad movie again. This is just the first 6 plus Rogue One. I'm not going to compare them to the Disney films because, again, they'd be above. But I just think Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones are the weaker two, but Phantom Menace is better at the end of the day. But no, I like Attack of the Clones. It's fun to rewatch it. But yeah, there's a lot of like getting there. Kind of similar thing with Rogue One. It takes a while to get really, really good. Roughly, Rogue One kicks in about 2/3 through it. Same sort of thing with Attack of the Clones. It's got great moments, speeder chase, Obi-Wan fighting Jango Fett, seeing the clones being grown, etc. But overall, it takes till like the droid factories start getting really, really good. Absolutely amazing stuff. Yeah, I liked it, and eventually watching episode 3, which has always been by far my favourite prequel, and right up there with the originals. And so yeah, that's pretty much it. Sorry this video went on so long. There's always so much I can talk about in these vids, but hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I'll have another one up soon. Thank you.